Hey y'all, this is Allison, and over on Ginger's Corner, November is all about that base. And so I have what I'm considering a base page. Really, it was a page kit that I put together, and it's already got a title and stuff on it. So it's a little bit more than a base page, but not a ton. So what I'm going to do is take these photos from a swimming birthday party, mat them, and then add them to this layout. And then I've pulled just a couple more little pieces of ephemera. I may look and see if I have any more to add and see if we can put this page together pretty quickly. Oh, that's a little bit of red, but I don't think it's big enough to mat a photo. So I have turquoise to mat them, and I think I may, because the yellow, I'm not loving the yellow on there, yellow on yellow. It's not going to help my photos stand out, really, is it? But we'll see what else. So let's see what I have in the way of photos and any trimming that I would like to do. So this is the birthday. I will trim these photos. I think that's an important step when you're trying to make things work. Hold on a second. Well, I had dropped my personal trimmer and I had to bend over and pick it up off the floor. So I figured that was a good time to speed up the video and do voice overlay. So I am trimming the photos. I tried to do most at 4x4. I do end up taking another 1/4 inch off a few of them, just so I could fit all the mats on one piece of 12x12 paper, honestly. There was more that I could have cut off some of these, but I didn't want the photos to be drastically different sizes. I wanted a little bit of consistency. So I'm just verifying the layout before I do the matting. So that I can see if I really need to cut things a little bit more. So that one was not 4x4, and I've made it 4x4. And the one on the bottom you can tell is probably 4x4 1/4, 4.5. I think I trimmed that a little bit more too. This one I am going to trim a little bit off because it's not fitting in that space very well. And I do end up having to mess around with that a bit more. And this one I make more narrow, so, and even though I'm going to overlap those photos, so I'm just making some adjustments. And as I said, I think that's helpful when you're trying to either fit more photos on a page than the sketch or the layout supposes, or you've done 4x6 photos, printed 4x6 photos like I have here. And it seems like a lot of layouts now are assuming smaller photos, in which case you need to mat them yourself if you want the white. So I'm just rearranging these, and this will make it so that I can fit more photos on here. It's still a little bit tight, but that's okay. So I'm going to do one more little modification to these two. And I'm just trying not to cut off any good content from the pictures. And just make it so that they will fit. And I'm just doing a very thin white matte for these. And I will just barely make it work. And it's really just to help it stand out on the page. I needed to clean the channel in my trimmer there because the blade was catching on the junk in the channel, which I find happens more when it's cheaper quality paper. This is not super expensive paper. It's a piece of inexpensive white cardstock that came with the kit. It's not my normal white cardstock. So it's a little fibrous, I guess is the right word for it. And my blade was not the cleanest, so I am having to clean a couple of edges. All right, and now I decided that I would do a couple of pictures on the yellow, just so there was a little variation on each page. So since these two photos are probably going to overlap or come close to overlapping, I decided to do one of them in yellow and one in the teal. And honestly, I tried to stick with the kit that this came with and not go and pull a whole bunch of other scraps out, honestly. And that's why I didn't go looking for like another red and things like that, because there's already red border for the title, so I feel like there's plenty of red on the page. And I do have just a few scraps left. You can see just very few scraps left over. And those will go into my scrap bin. Well, my scrap folders, many, many of them. I have them by color or by color family. And that seems to work out. It gives me a place to go when I'm looking for something, anything less than 12 by 12, honestly, can go in there. So I'm ready to commit some of these. I'm going to really try and tuck this one in a bit, just so there's a little more breathing space. And I'm not 100% happy with that, but I'm going to lower this one and then raise the other one. And I end up leaving a little channel between them, and I'm okay with that. I thought it looked weird to have all three of them overlapping each other, and I just couldn't put that big pool shot without it overlapping. Here, all of these balloons and presents and everything have stitching on them, so rather than just using this piece of ephemera as it is, I added the stitching to it just to help tie it in with the other things on the page. And I put that in the center there so that it would sort of tie in with the title on the other page. And then I couldn't decide which enamel dots. None of these were perfect, so I decided to go for these. They're sort of sparkly, and I do the stars. And I think there are 2 small stars and 1 large star in each color. And so that is the perfect combination for me to make 3 little clusters. And I think I look at it for a while and try and decide what else I want to add. There was one little, this little sunshine that I had pulled out. I decided to add the stitching to that and try and figure out where I could put it. I was going to just set it over there, and I decided that it would look good with that title. And I think, you guys, that I'm going to call it done. It took me, I think, 34 minutes to do this page. I was really excited to get it done so quickly. I hope you guys are enjoying using your base pages. If you created some base pages in October, or you're doing them in November, or go back to those class layouts and see what you can make work. Here's some close-ups. Please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my Space to Craft if you are not already subscribed, and we will see you next time.